Hi, this is Maggie Peck in the Experience of Literature class. This is my Brave New World video. So a scene that I think represents John's journey and his nature. Um, I like flagged a passage in here in the book. His little like monologue when he's talking with the controller, the world controller in paragraph or not paragraph, in chapter 17. He's having this big conversation with the controller and he says, "But I don't want comfort. I want God. I want poetry. I want real danger. I want freedom. I want goodness. I want sin." And then a little later, "All right then," said the savage defiantly. "I'm claiming the right to be unhappy." And I think that really kind of encapsulates what just his essence, his character. He wants the right of self-determination. He wants to live the way he wants to live, including unhappiness. Everybody else in this society has given up kind of their personal freedom in order to be happy all of the time. But John wants the right to be unhappy. He wants to be able to experience life to its full extent. And then I think a more like example of his action of that conveys his character would be when he's at the lighthouse in, I don't remember where. I think it's in Scotland. He's at the lighthouse and he is whipping himself as like a punishment, because he just has such high morals he has set for himself and such high standards. Like when he was reading, through Shakespeare, through religion, things like that, and he holds himself to these things, and he's using, like, nobody else in this society would ever cause themselves pain on purpose, and John is the only one like this. I think that really represents him. And then a character that I pity both Linda and Lenina. Linda, I especially pity because she grew up in London. She was conditioned to act a certain way, to believe certain things. And then when she gets left in New Mexico, everything is kind of turned on its head. And she keeps acting the way she was conditioned to act. Like when she's sleeping with all of these men. She thinks that's normal for her. And then all of the women in the New Mexico on the reservation kind of shun her. I think they beat her, and she just doesn't understand why. She doesn't understand why she doesn't fit into this society, and I really feel bad for her, and especially when she comes back, because all she wanted was to go back to London, and then when she does get that chance, she's shunned again, by the society that raised her, that taught her these things, and now she has become the embodiment of everything that they hate, because she's ugly, she's fat, she's old, she's wrinkled. And then she goes back and is like made fun of and laughed at, and she just goes on her permanent like Soma holiday. And it was so sad, and I feel like that was awful. And then Lenina, I didn't pity Lenina for a whole lot of the book, because she was like a lot of the other characters, with her conditioning. But I pitied her in that scene where her and John are together, and she asks him to kiss her, and he just goes on this like crazy like rampage situation, and he calls her a whore, he yells at her and gets so angry and he hits her, and she just doesn't understand because she's been conditioned. I mean, just the same as Linda, she's been conditioned to act a certain way, to believe things, and she doesn't understand why he's acting like this, but she actually genuinely likes him. So it's almost even worse because of that. And then my thoughts about the book. Okay, I thought it was very interesting. I did like this book. I like this a lot better than Catcher in the Rye, I think. Um, it's definitely obviously meant to be a warning for kind of where society was headed, and I think Huxley would not like where we're at now, especially with, like social media and AI and, heavy government intervention across the whole world pretty much. He would not. He would not like where we're at right now. And I think his warnings are very valid and real concerns, and we have headed kind of in the direction that he was warning against with Brave New World. So I thought it was really interesting. I didn't like, I just finished the book earlier today, so I'm kind of remembering. At the very end, there's this whole, like, basically the whole chapter is this conversation between John and the controller about religion. Um, and it felt like Huxley was using the characters to give us a lecture, like the readers a lecture, which I didn't particularly enjoy. But I also think that was kind of the point of the book, is you're not necessarily supposed to enjoy it. You're supposed to really think about things inwardly. So there's that too. What else? Yeah, that was about it. Okay, thank you. Also, I did watch the video, but I don't have any questions to put in the discussion board. So just want to let you know I did watch it, but I don't have any questions. Thanks.